Ain't nothing changed in the ghetto.
Stun up, just bought a Hummer. Pull up to the club now.
Ain't nothing changed in the ghetto.
Two runners and they got burners. Pull up to the trap now. All the
Nothing changed in the ghetto.
Stun up, just bought a Hummer. Pull up to the club now. All the
Nothing changed in the ghetto.
two runners and they got burners. Pull up to the trap now. All the
Hey, how y'all doing? Happy Turkey Day. I don't celebrate holidays. This is an Indigenous Day. This is not a day of celebration, really. This is a day that people lost their lives and lost their land. But you are here with me. I'm here with you. I thank you for being here. We ain't gonna hold you long today. This is our holiday celebration. Even though we don't celebrate holidays, because hey, I'm still here. But this is maybe a holiday for you guys. If it is, I'm not here to tell you don't celebrate. I'm just here to share it with you. So thank you for coming every second with Cluren Williams. We are here right now, 5:30 CT time, every Thursday. Get with me, get on in here. We love to have you and co-hosting the show with me, as my guest. So if you're an author and you represent Black excellence, if you're an actor, if you're a musician, if you're in sports, if you're a teenager with exceptional talents, hey man, we have a place for you. We have a place to build your brand right here at every second with Cluren Williams. So again, thank you guys for coming. This week, man, we seen some social injustice news. The Ahmaud Arbery case and the three murderers of that case were all convicted this week and found guilty. Man, it's crazy because when you think about it, when it initially happened, you could literally go back and just kind of like take a grasp of air, right? Because it just stopped you from breathing. Like, wow, right? Who in their right mind would do such a thing? And here are the three assailants: malice murder, felony murder, false imprisonment, criminal attempt to commit. We talking about over 9 different felonies. Most of the felonies that these guys were facing, they were convicted on. Most of them were convicted on maybe about 8 or 9 felonies. But we do want to say, in the middle of this tragic incident, stop racism, stop hateism, stop. What makes you want or make you think you have the right to do what you have done, America, to Black people? Matter of fact, what makes you think that Black people are going to keep on tolerating this? That's really the biggest question. But Arbery's murder and the guilty verdicts are really a very, very small victory. As you can see, the pain in the mother eyes, the pain in the family eyes, the pain in the friends' eyes. You didn't see that pain in the 3 killers. Maybe they were hurt because they got, convicted. Maybe they were even, in some type of awkward way, afraid to spend the rest of their life in prison. But there was no real pain. But for Black America, there was real pain. There was real hurt. There was loss. And this traumatizing effect has affected us all from coast to coast. So these guilty verdicts, and we wish we had the same 12 jurors for Rittenhouse. Like, literally, we watch, one case unfold in front of our eyes with Rittenhouse, who had shot over 3 or 4 protesters during a protest last year. And he killed one of them. And so he was able to walk out the court under self-defense. And now he's even out going around speaking, talking about he supports Black Lives Matter. But for the verdict in the Arbery's murder, for it to be a guilty verdict, I think this is the reason why we still have to fight. I think this is the reason why we still have to push and fight for justice. Because there are so many cases out there in America that are similar to this or highlights it step for step and get swept under the rug. Nobody hears about it. Nobody sees it. For us to get a guilty verdict in the Arbery case is a small victory in a huge war. So my condolences go out to the family on both sides. Even though the three men are guilty, even though they did some evil things, they have a family also. And I don't have any real remorse for them, as I should say, and I should be clear about that. I don't have any remorse for the three murderers in the Arbery case who are just now found guilty for his homicide. And they're found guilty like over 9 counts. Some of them was found guilty on about 7 of those 9. Some of them was found 6 of those 9, 8 of those 9. You know, some and the fact is that they had a lot of counts of different types of felony murder and different felonies, because the way they did it, it was just that crazy. Like, there's one thing to kill somebody, but then there's another to hold them under their wheel, to chase them down, to follow them, abduct them on their own will, and ultimately kill them. What a horrific case, what a horrific time to be in, watching Arbery, watching George Floyd, watching Betham and Dallas, watching America watch us get slayed is become a sickening and a trauma in itself. Thank you so much, Ted, for bringing this relevant story to my attention today. Again, this is Thanksgiving, man, and I don't celebrate a heavy this day, but I do want to say that we need to find some things to be thankful. There are too many reasons for us to be sad, to be and mad, to be angry, to be hateful, spiteful, to feel left behind, to feel like, a lot of us been through a lot. And as this year comes to an end, I would like to, at some point, to sit down and take some time to reflect on this year, and reflect on the good, the bad, and the ugly, but take time to reflect. UPC has partnered up with Reese Hurd and the program, and they have entrepreneurs for children event coming up soon in Austin, Texas at Givens Park. And we want everybody to, if you have a kid who has extraordinary talents, and whatever they're doing, whether they're doing music or whatever, what the case may be, we would like to invite you guys to be there. Again, this is going to be on the 26th, Friday. This event is brought to you. It's called the Kidspreneur. Okay, it's brought to you by Urban Power, Austin Justice Coalition, Austin Parks, Dream Out Loud. Shout out Research, City of Austin, and it'll be at the Givens Recreation Center at 3811 East 12th Street, Austin, Texas 78721. There will be no vendor fees, so if you like to be a vendor there for the children, there will be no vendor fees. Please sign your kids up, ages from 5 to 19. Sign them up. Again, the event will be from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can call 512-974-2430 for more information. Again, that number is 512-974-2430. Again, if you have any more information, call that number. And we'll see you guys Friday, man, at the Kidpreneur event, Black Friday event. Again, Black Friday is coming up this week. So if you got a little shopping to do, I guess it's the best time to do it. It's another holiday that I don't celebrate. The origin of Black Friday makes me not celebrate it. Would I like to have a deal or something cheap on Black Friday? Yes. All the things that I'm trying to purchase through the year, I can get pretty much 60% cheaper right now. And of course, I would love to dive on the deals. I'm itching and wanting to dive on a deal, but there's something inside of me saying, man, hey, you gotta stay true. No matter how good it look, you gotta stay true and stand true to myself and what I stand for. Hey, everybody is so stuck in this era where it's all about them anyway, right? And they really looking and they saying, hey man, well, it's all about me. So what is it going to benefit me? I want to live in my truth. I want to be who I am, and I want to be proud about it. Well, guess what? I do too. I want to be proud about who I am too. So I'm not celebrating Black Friday. But if you are, it's a good time to start shopping smart. A lot of black people waste a lot of money all year, and this is the best time to get in there and get something done and try to move it on through. The Cowboys game on today, y'all. We losing by about 17-13. But it's been a crazy week in the NFL. It's going to be a crazy week this weekend, so I look forward to seeing it. So I told y'all I ain't going to hold y'all long, but I got my partners on here with me. I got some guests. Victor, he's in the back, I believe. I think he's here.
So, yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so I got Victor here.
Yep.
And then we also got another friend here of Victor's, but he's a guest of mine. He's a friend of Victor's, but he's a guest of mine, and his name is Walter. What's up, brothers? How y'all doing? How you doing, Walter? How you doing, Victor?
Actually, Shahid is my name, beloved.
Okay, Shahid. How you doing, Shahid? How you doing, brother?
I am peaceful. I am
Already.
peaceful. How you brothers doing? That was a strong opening that you gave us as far as the intro is concerned.
Well, go ahead and introduce yourself, because I didn't want to. I should have allowed you to introduce yourself from the get-go. So
man, that's what he always do, man.
Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's okay.
He don't never let nobody talk.
First and foremost, I like to say thank you, man, for allowing me the platform to be in concert with you. Victor first, and obviously Cluren next. Well, my name is Shahid Muhammad. I'm out of Chicago, Illinois, and I'm part of the Do It For Self program. You can check us out, doforself.org. I think I should have put that up there. And what we're doing is we're rebuilding the community. We're not just rebuilding the community from the standpoint of buildings and things that are physical, buildings and homes, but we're building people, taking men and women who've been in prison, and we're teaching them how to rehabilitate, not just home, but rehabilitate themselves, so that opportunities open up that we can take back control of our own community. Because of a lot of the problem that we have in society is that we don't have control of any economic structure that allows us to be able to man up and take care of ourselves. So we're always dependent upon outside groups. So when you're dependent upon outside groups, you have to sit down and submit to whatever rules they place before us.
You already know that.
So when we're dealing with Do It For Self, we deal with credit, we deal with funding. We deal with everything in the sector of financial literacy, because not only do you want to accumulate customers or clients, I think that is so rudimentary, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You want to create partners and not pawns.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what we own. So what part of Chicago are you from, brother?
The south side of Chicago. Born and raised.
South side of Chicago.
South side.
Okay. So this work that you're doing, that you're implementing, and the structures and this building that you're doing, are you doing it on the south side of Chicago? Where are you home?
We work everywhere, man. Like a lot of our implementation is on the west side and the south side, but we're not limited at all to anything. We're not limited to any areas. We work in Atlanta, Georgia. We work in Dallas, Texas. We have partners in Las Vegas. We have partners in Houston, Memphis. So we pretty much is just trying to get our tentacles everywhere so that we can make as many people successful and credit worthy, because when you don't have the capital, credit is obviously a way to attain the capital.
Okay. So is there an age limit that you're working with, or are you trying to get them as young as possible?
Usually a lot of children, 16, 17-year-olds, they don't have negative credit. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of them have not been to the penitentiary yet. So they pretty much still kids, but what we're doing is we're implementing educational programs so that they don't go down the route to where they destroy their credit. They don't have a trade. They accumulate a lot of student loan debt. So we're teaching them and creating a platform so they can learn. But there's no age limit. I've had clients as old as 70 years old, and have clients as young as 20 years old.
Oh, wow. Wow. So we looking at some of the things right here on the screen, talking about exactly what you're talking about. Have you placed this this teaching that you got in the form of your own type of curriculum or presented?
You know, it's funny you say that because I was talking to Victor last week. We do have a business credit book
wow.
that was just finished, and I call it the black print. I don't call it the blueprint.
All right.
We're finalizing that, getting that copy written as we speak. We have a personal credit, a do-it-yourself credit book, which is under the same thing because everything we're switching our company up. I have new partners, better partners that'll allow me to do other things. It increases my versatility. So we're just transferring all the curriculum over, even the curriculum that he just put up there. That's the course that I think I sent to him, where it teaches you about business credit. So a lot of the things we're just transitioning over to the new company that we just formed last week, which should be finalized next week. And we are, hopefully, God willing, we make things affordable because I see a lot of gurus out here. They're making a lot of money off recycled and old information. So they're really not in it to benefit the people.
Yeah.
They're in it to benefit themselves. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
what we is in the last days.
The Instagram that we have here, everything is being restructured as we speak. Everything.
Yeah. That's what's up. So you mind telling the listeners what's the benefits of what you're doing? Like why is this so special? What's so special about this? Man, I sell dope. I got nothing but cocaine in my attic, bro. I got plenty of bricks. I got plenty of cash. What are you talking about? Nigga, I got money. Like, why you up here selling me this shit? Like, this the new shit to do. And if I got this cash, I got 60 bands on me. So what is it in for me?
So this is my philosophy, and this is a philosophy I created. Gold is king, credit is queen, cash is prince.
All right.
So everything, at least our economic system, was at one point in time based upon the gold standard. And that's where the dollar even had its importance. But I believe it was 1971. They took that off the gold standard and they started printing money up. That print money up out of control leads to inflation. So the 60,000 that you got in your mattress, if you keep it under your mattress for 2 years and don't do nothing with it, it'll still be $60,000. But the buying power that it has been gone. It diminishes. See, and if I'm not mistaken, you're not supposed to have more than $9,999. So it's gonna be hard to go buy a Lamborghini with $200,000 in cash. You have to have some base or some reason to have that type of money, or Uncle Sam gonna come looking for you. He gonna want to start on his chop. Now it works for a certain period of time, and it has worked for a lot of us. But I even ran into a lot of men that I've dealt with. That were in the streets when I was coming up. A lot of them haven't been successful in real estate or in owning things, and they haven't been able to get to the next level. See, credit is what this country is based off. We're based off a fractional banking system. The 97% of our economy is based off money that doesn't exist. It's based off credit.
Oh yeah. So okay, well, let me ask you this then real quick. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this question. Okay, so I understand the fact that the money ain't gonna grow and stuff like this. So how is important of building these tools with credit and stuff like this? How important is that for the quote unquote ex-felons? I'm just getting out of prison. I'm on
You're talking
parole.
about the importance of credit
I've never had nothing in my
an
name.
ex-felon.
Yeah, I never had nothing in my name before. So what are you telling me to get credit for? And they let me out of prison with $50, and I've been locked up for 5 years flat.
But in 6 months, 9 times out of 10, after every 7 years, the credit recycles itself. It starts over. A lot of people don't know that. So let's say hypothetically somebody went to the penitentiary for 8 years and maybe they had credit or didn't have credit. They get out of jail with $50. At that point, from the point that they get out of the penitentiary, in 6 months, I can have them credit worthy or less. I can start the process, and if they're willing to learn, to get their credit on track. So not only in 6 months, but in a year, I can have them going to get funded.
So you mean to tell me after doing half a decade in prison, in less than 6 months after my release, you can have me on track to building up my credit, and building up my credit will do what for me?
It'll give you the opportunity. See, when you go buy cars or you go buy homes, they don't care if you're a felon. They care if you're credit worthy. When you apply for credit card, they don't care if you're a felon. They care if you're credit worthy. So we can erase the felon aspect by giving you a means to take care of yourself. And if you don't have the liquidity or the capital by having the cash, your credit and your name and your social security number is the key to you being successful.
Okay, can you give me a list of things that having decent credit can land you in, no matter what your background is?
It opens you up to business funding, somewhere between 100 and 250,000. It opens you up to personal funding, which can add up to about another 100,000. It gets you in the best vehicles, which opens you up to business opportunities like Turo or whatever other businesses that we have established right now. And it puts you in a position to be in the real estate market. It puts you in a position to be able to be a distributor of properties or products. It puts you in a position to be successful from an economic standpoint. And that's the basis. That's the basis for us attaining long-term success in other arenas. I love religion and I love politics. But when you go back and study every war, it ain't really been about politics and religion. It's been about economics. We've consistently been in economic wars, and you can check the last 1,000 years. Every war is about taking land to give my people a better economic opportunity. It's about eliminating people because overpopulation disrupts the economy. So economics is the thing that we really fight over, that we really been fighting over. We just use other names and this type of politics and religion to mask what it really about. It's about, that's why the Catholic Church owns the most real estate in the world.
Man,
they're the most holy, but they own the most real estate. That's economic power.
That's economic power.
That's economic power.
What made you get in this lane? Like, what made you get this? You gotta have a story, bro. Everybody got a background. Niggas don't like to talk about it. But what made you get in this lane? What made this up? This sound like you ready to fight some generational curses.
My father, in 1984, well, 1982, the year I was born, he started to go into the Nation of Islam. And he became a full-fledged member in the Nation of Islam in 1984. So my entire education, I've been growing up learning to do for yourself. Attain land. Control your own banks. Control your own neighborhoods. Control your own corner stores. So my entire life, I've been trained this way. So everybody that has something invested in this fight, they have it invested from whatever way that they've been taught. The way that I've learned, because I was able to go to school on a full basketball scholarship, I was able to learn different things than my father had known and my parents. So I understood the value of credit. They didn't understand the value of credit because the older generation, as you know, your parents or grandparents may have said, stay away from credit. I don't want no credit. But see, now our generation has learned, no, you don't run away from credit. You use credit as a tool.
Yeah.
It is a tool to get to a means, to an end.
Okay, so for somebody like me that never ever had much in his name, been to prison, never had an opportunity to establish credit in his 20s, what is the best way for me to get started to establish some good credit?
Well, we get you some starter accounts. You can check out creditstrong.com. You can check out Self-Lender. You can check out MDG. You open up accounts like this, you open up starter accounts, you can actually go to your bank and tell them you want to take out a personal, you want to get a loan, but you want to pay it back with your own money. You see what I'm saying? That's where you want to start. You obviously want to get a cell phone to your name. You want to have a mix of credit. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of times, even brothers like yourself who've been to the penitentiary, make sure you got a car in your name. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things of that nature. You just want to have a good mix of credit. But see, when you deal with things like Credit Strong, creditstrong.com, Mr. Davis, when you deal with Credit Strong and Self-Lender, these are actual savings accounts where you can go in and you can pay $150 a month, but you're not paying to Self-Lender. You're paying to a savings account for yourself. So in a year, they'll return the money back to you. But in the midst of that time frame, in 3 or 4 months, they'll give you a credit card.
Okay.
And with that credit card, you can build credit that way. And these are tools you need. You because at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to have 6 or 7 or 8 open accounts where you can manipulate the credit system, because we only have so much time to deal with it. And I'm saying that based off the system is about to change early next year. So I don't believe everything's gonna be based off Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. They're gonna go directly to the consumer board. So a lot of things that we're able to remove, it'll be difficult come the middle of next year. So you just take the little tools that I gave you, and I know you guys are recording this, so you'll have it. But start out with Credit Strong, start out with Self-Lender. Sign up and set accounts up with them. They are actual savings accounts. That'll help you start to build your credit.
Well, that's what I'm sure gonna do. Write this down, Ted, so you can help me remember this. I need your help, Ted. Help me fix my credit. Now, I know you're gonna help me produce the shows, but help me fix my credit too, brother. Now, I appreciate that, man. Shahid, that's some valuable information. Now I'm gonna get a little bit more personal with you since you my guest, because I ain't gotta talk to Victor. I talk to Victor all the time. So Victor gonna sit right here for a little bit until the time to talk about some UPC matters. And I hope he ain't got no problem. You got a problem with that, Victor?
Victor,
is you okay with that?
I'm okay with that, because I knew you was about to blow me off. You ain't said nothing about me all day. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, you know. Hey, brother Shahid, I appreciate you for showing up, man.
All praises be, man. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, so I wasn't doing that.
Yeah, I don't celebrate either.
Introduce yourself, Victor, again, real quick, then, before I go back to my guest, please.
Man, you should have just went ahead and introduced me. Hell, you gonna do nothing but interrupt me when I start talking anyway. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can talk about me. Y'all know what I am and who I am, man. You know what I'm saying?
VV's up.
Hey, absolutely, man. You see the tag right there. Hit me up on my IG. You know what I'm saying? The link in the bio. I got one of them link trees now, thanks to brother Shahid. You know what I'm saying? So hey, he got on my nerves, man. He demanded more of me. He want me to be the best version of myself. So, you know, we call and we check in on each other. We've been locked in since
we talk.
You know what I'm saying? One of the first interactions.
We talking 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
we try to get to the bag. You know what I'm saying? Try to get to the bag and change our culture.
Thank you, Mr. Vinziant, for
coming. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Let me go ahead and
appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. Vinziant. He is always here as usual. My co-host, man, my partner in crime, he's here. And but we're gonna get right back to Victor in a minute, man. We're gonna go to our guest. And so we want to ask you a couple of questions. Victor already know the questions I come with. I ain't gonna come with them real hard on you today, but we just got some regular questions. My first regular question for you is, who is your favorite college football team? Do you like football?
I love football.
Well, who your team, man?
My favorite team?
Yeah, who you riding with? Who your team, man?
I'm riding with Bama, man.
Oh, man. Come on, man. You ain't from Alabama? How you gonna say Alabama?
I'm riding with Bama, man. I love my coach, man.
Man, stop. You
I just love it. You got to realize when I was in college, right, and I played basketball at Northern Illinois University, we would have our training camp and we would call it the desert. The desert was the same name that Bear Bryant, former Alabama coach, had took the players out to the desert to train them.
Okay, but what they got to do with you being from Chicago?
I attained an affinity for them then.
Oh,
and I
well, at least you got a good team, man. I can't knock that. At least you got a good team. But I just don't know how out of all places, Chicago, Alabama, it just seems like it's so far away.
Yeah, we don't got no good football teams here, man.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So, but outside of that, you represent Black excellence. You are a view of Black excellence. You are what Black excellence resembles. And just listening to you, brother, seems like you're very educated, very wise, ahead of your time. And I'm looking forward to being able to speak with you more and more and more on back end as we try to further this fight that we got going on also too. But our social injustice case of the week was Mr. Arbery in Georgia. And then we had some more cases that came up this week that I've touched on. In the midst of all this crazy stuff going on, right? What are you using? What are you saying, I should say? What is that one word? Maybe a phrase, maybe a philosophy. What is that one thing that sticks out? That one word that sticks out that keeps you level, that keeps you motivated, going through the day, able to step over the obstacles that are coming your way, brother?
Justice, man. The Creator gave us a principle, and we call it justice in Islam. And it's all justice is the art of fair dealing. So we're in a system that's not fair, that's not blind. But at the end of the day, I believe in a higher power. I believe in the Creator. And I believe justice will prevail eventually over time. Even though we may not see it all the time here, I believe in due time that justice will prevail because creation has to balance itself out. And what we saw with Mr. Arbery was just a part of the balancing mechanism that's going to keep going, I believe.
Yeah, because we got Rittenhouse, he get off, Arbery people get convicted. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, 1 second you mad, and then the next second you trying to say we got hope still. So I respect that.
You got to stay in the moment, though, man. You got to stay even keeled because it'll be like that. You'll be so up here with the Arbery case, but then you'll be so down with the Rittenhouse case. So you got to just stay even keeled and just keep doing the work.
We just have keep a lot doing of good the work. Chats.
You know what I mean? Because it's all like what the Philadelphia 76 says, the process. Right now, creation is in the process to correct itself, man.
Already. And I'm taking some of that with me, man, what you just said. That justice part, my brother was shot 12 times by the Austin Police Department, and he survived. And we still fighting for justice. We lost our case in federal court. They didn't believe that my brother deserved anything. They didn't believe that he deserved any compensation for his surgeries, any support as he moved on with his life, or even if they cared that he even had a life to live as he moved forward in life. Because truth be told, 12 people that was up there wasn't our peers. And that's the reality of going and letting 12 pick. They're claiming they're our peers, but it's very hard to get 12 people that are our peers on that stand, period. And so whether we are in the white judge or the white jury, we still are in a very hard situation that only a high power can get us out of, unless we're willing to fight dirty. A lot of people don't like talking that dirty fighting talk. A lot of people don't want to hear it. A lot of people just want peace. And I'm a firm believer that we won't have peace until we go to war. I mean, I'm not saying everybody get ready to, go to war, let's go crazy and right or nothing like that. But I can easily say, man, that that's what we're looking at, right? Like that's what we're looking at right now. We're looking at one option almost. Are we willing to go the extent that our ancestors were willing to go?
They talking about
willing
to go the distance that our ancestors
we talking about plenty of black revolts because of the same systems that was set up for them. People got to understand that the court systems and all this
y'all
crap,
click that link and tell us what your feelings are about jury duty.
Yeah, it go way back past Rome days, right? Come on, think about it. Jesus was given to the courts, right? The courts been set up for Lord knows I don't know how long.
The corrupt courts.
The corrupt courts.
At one point in time, the courts was in accordance with how it should have been dealt with.
Thank you. And so this system has been set up by people who are suppressors. And so I don't really have any hope at all for the system.
No, not the system. I don't have no hope for
the system. Now I have hope for the way we fight against the system, but I don't have hope for the system, like within the system. I don't see nothing ever.
The system itself was built on principles that were corrupt.
Yeah.
But when you build something wrong, you build it faulty with a faulty foundation. It doesn't matter how strong it looks. Eventually, that foundation of what it was built on is going to make it crumble. So it wasn't built on right principle.
No, it wasn't.
So it can't withstand the test of time. Creation was built on truth. The system wasn't built on truth.
You're right. So my next question to you is then, since I know that you are into, building wealth with credit and different other wealth building tools, are you into stocks and bonds at all also?
I play around a little bit. I'm really about to get into options. I think my cousin just did 17,000 Friday off options. So he's becoming my mentor in that area. And we have a mentor that did $500,000 in a day. So I want to eventually create and set up and take something public where we have our own stock, where we can invest in our own products, and we take it to do an IPO, which is an initial public offering when we initially bring it to the marketplace, where we can have our own initial investments in our own thing. Bitcoin was actually one of ours too. I don't know if people know that, but a black man started that. So.
Oh yeah, I never knew that, bro. Say that again. Say it loud.
Right now too.
Say it loud. Say that again. Say it loud. A black man started what?
Bitcoin.
Wow. I want y'all to hear that again for everybody that didn't know that, because I didn't know that.
And look him up right now, because he took a lot. He took a lot to the table. He tried to get a lot of the wealthier men, billionaires in the world, to back him, and they laughed at him. And now I think they have him in trouble right now with the federal courts. So y'all look it up. I think his name is Arthur Hayes. Look him up and do your homework on this.
That's I've never heard that, bro. I didn't know. I would never know. Just like I didn't know a black person, made the first Nintendo console, which turned into the PlayStations and every other game we use. And the crazy thing is we, I think, as a people, with the outlets and the resources that we have available to us, we got to quit whining about what we don't got and start pushing the gas on what we got. Like, we need to highlight those brothers.
Y'all look him up. His name is Arthur Hayes.
Arthur Hayes. Matter of fact, I want you to come back. Matter of fact, we're going to do that, bro. We're going to come back on my show, and we're going to talk about Arthur Hayes. I want us to get a firm, we want to understand who he is, where he come from, right? We want to know who Arthur Hayes is. Why? Because we already know somebody going to come along, make this story about Arthur Hayes, but we probably be dead and gone when they do it. But we want to take the opportunity to put the story out there in front and center now. Like, fuck that, man. Like, that's a real intriguing story. So if you want to get down with me on that, man, I'd like to invite you back again, man. And let's do a little segment about that, man, and where it's transpired into today. And let's get involved ourselves. I mean, I got a little bit in Bitcoin. I'm not no stocks and bonds guru, but I'm in it, right? And I'm trying to get into things that you guys in.
My thing is real estate, because that's more tangible for me. And I know they create these fake islands, so they create more land, but it's not really new land. So there's not going to be any new land created. So I try my approach is to have control of what's a necessity, especially in these urban areas. And when I say urban, I don't mean black areas. I mean the city area. I don't use it in the terms of how the other people use it. But just to have housing, because housing is a necessity. Even in a bad market, people got to have somewhere to live.
You already know it.
So you got to have homes. You got to have farms. And obviously beauty is a big thing. So we have to start putting our money in stuff that there's going to always be a need for, and we need to control those markets, because even when you go, especially here in Chicago, you go to the hair shops, you got the which I don't have anything against any of these people, but you got a lot of Arabs doing hair, black hair now, and you got a lot of Chinese selling black hair. And you got a lot of Chinese and Asians doing black nails, but all we do is give our money to them. So we should take more control of our own economies, and by understanding credit, by understanding business, we start the process of taking back some of that $1.9 trillion that we generate as a whole, which would actually make us one of the 10th wealthiest nations in the world. If we take some of that money, just a small part of it, and put it back amongst ourselves, then we can have more control. Then we can keep a certain type of police in our neighborhood, and we can keep a certain type out. Because I know here in Chicago, you go to Chinatown, the Chinese control that neighborhood. It's called Chinatown. They control that neighborhood.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother discussion. And one thing, I try to be mindful is that once I'm as an educator, when I go back into these schools, they don't want to hear curriculum for black people. They don't want to, if they even get a sense that you're building some type of curriculum or some type of program that's aimed for African Americans, they won't let you in the damn school. Like we're literally having that problem right now. That's why we got to create our own schools. You're correct.
We got to create our own schools.
We got to create our own schools. I'm having trouble right now being, accused of being just any kind of Joe Blow walking off the streets, which, truth be told, I could be any old Joe Blow off the streets who wanted to invest in children. What the fuck is wrong with that? Why can't any old Joe Blow walk into a school and support the school and say, hey, man, y'all need mentorship? Hey, y'all need somebody to come in and volunteer freely and speak to these kids and show them that they give a damn? Hey, man, anybody willing to do that should have a free pass into those schools.
Yeah, but you got to go through masters. Master got to tell you it's okay. But see, when you control your own, when we build our own curriculum, which is a curriculum that they actually took from it and changed it to their curriculum, when we go back to the original curriculum in our own schools, then they can't tell us what to do.
Well, let's tell us what to do, Victor, with the curriculum. Since you are the boss man and the boss of all bosses, aka VV, aka T-Pain in the building, you know what I'm saying? You better buy me a drink.
Hey, this boy love hyping me up and then blowing me out the water with it. You know what I'm saying?
What's on the schedule for the day, man? Give us some game, bro. Show us how to buy back the block. You know what time it is.
Yeah. Hey, so to pivot and to add more context to what Brother Shahid was saying, since he and we speak the language of real estate. Once you start thinking like a revolutionary, you start thinking about the fact that we're in an actual fight. You don't just see it as houses anymore. You see it as terrain in the fight. You know what I'm saying? You see it as leverage. You see it as so many different moving pieces once you understand what your obligation is. And then when we start talking about purpose and aligning all the other intangible stuff that makes us tick and gives us the drive we need to do the move, it becomes a weaponized fight. It becomes truly focused on the things that we can control versus things that we can influence, right? So you take that energy to it, and then you want to do something positive because you don't want it to fizzle. You want to build momentum on it, right? That's why I say that's why we got to be buying dirt simultaneously with building up our other efforts and our lines of communication. And that's where we are right now in terms of how we're moving. So a lot of y'all see my IG name. It says Victor Vinziant, the author. Thanks, Ted, for putting my books up. I got all my data in my link tree. The first book that Ted's displaying right now is called The Business of Me. It's more of a maybe a one-part autobiography about who I am. And my other book is called The Code. That'll be the one to pop up soon. But that's the book that I speak out of when we talk about having a unified vision and understanding that other people's lanes are equally as important as our energy. You know what I'm saying? When we're upset about something else. The best thing that we can do right now with the amount of talent that we have is not get in each other's lanes and let everybody else perform at their highest level. You know what I'm saying? We find the experts, let them come in and talk about the importance of other facets that may be not as easily digested as heard by somebody else, you know, because all of us aren't the right messenger, you know what I'm saying, at the right time, but all of us are messengers. So somebody's going to hear what we got to say, you know?
Yeah.
So the book that Ted is displaying right here is The Code. It's my first book. I wrote it and published it in 2018. And this book was my attempt to try to correct our culture and start thinking about how to unify these different life experiences without competing with each other. You know what I'm saying? And by competing, I mean in an unhealthy way where we're running and trampling over each other, you know, instead of helping each other run the fastest that we can run in our own lanes. So the real estate conversation will always be centric to me because we got to have a center of gravity. We got to have a place where we can commune and you know what I'm saying, and hash out our understandings, not places for fights. We're bringing dialogue instead of debates because we're way past that right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And those of us that are operating with the right sense of urgency know that any type of commentary that may be seen as critique is coming from a place of love and unity. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where we are right now. We got to come clean. We got to come from truth. You know.
Shout out James, man, at the JKC to the firm. Matter of fact, you can look them up at jkcthefirm.com. We had a great meeting this week, man, and I think this is an episode of Victor right here talking right here on a podcast. Where you was at, Victor, again?
Man, yeah, shout out to my man Garfield Martin, one of my old guys that I was in the Army with. Hadn't seen him in probably about 10 or 12 years before we filmed this video. We took this segment, we just called it Elevated Arguments because we need more elevated discussions and disagreements on different frequencies. Like if you disagreeing about fashion choices and stuff like that, you're going to produce a low frequency conversation that nobody benefits from, right? Unless it's tied to something tangible. So the more elevated our discussions and arguments are, you know what I'm saying, the more productive the discussions become because it produces something useful. Like if you're arguing about politics, it's going to produce a different outcome than arguing about, you know, who scored the last goal in a hockey game. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have long drawn out arguments of your kickball championships or your high school glory days. You know what I'm saying? When you finally average more than 4.2 yards a carry, you know? So like we don't need no more glory day discussions. You know what I'm saying? We don't need any more empty dialogues that don't give somebody else a reason to push a little bit further that day, you know?
I understand one thing, that, you know, building wealth or getting property, the leverage and the generational curses that it breaks in the family. Appreciate you for that again. Thank you, Shahid, for coming through, man. You know, blessing us with your time, blessing us with your wisdom and your game and everything that you're doing. We would like to invite you to come more often, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here. I'm support my brothers always.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. And whatever we can do to support
somebody
you,
asked me earlier about.
Let me know that too. And again, James had wrote he wanted to talk about grant writers. So we'll bring that back to the show next week, man. We'll bring a discussion about grant writers also for
JD,
our
appreciate you for the input.
Appreciate all our viewers out there that's locking in right now. Appreciate y'all on this day, man. Y'all can be doing anything else. So if you're giving us some of your time, I appreciate that, man. From the heart, from the heart. Victor, again, man, you know what time it is. I love you, brother. I appreciate you for being here. Before we go, guys, I want you to kind of like run down to me, Victor, in your own words, what is maybe one of the things that you are interested or to be looking out for in real estate while we're moving on to this next circle, this next section of life for us, because this year is almost over. And I know this stuff kind of changes, but I know we talked this week and you had some new good ideas about, working some of your properties. Maybe you'll be interested in discussing some of that briefly real quick before we get ready to go.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, the main thing this time of year, most families are where they are as far as it comes down to wholesale properties, flipping something, and uh, going into transition for the year. Most people, they either want to have something under contract so they can start a project now and have it ready for the spring to go to market. You know what I'm saying? At a minimum when they're flipping houses. But I would say probably going into the new year, most families that couldn't sell that house that still need to sell it around February sometime, I expect the market to get hot again, in terms of availability, because it's still a shortage. There's never going to be enough houses in this market. It's not going to be like it was when the market crashed, when the housing market crashed specifically a long time ago. Everybody's been waiting on this bubble. Whatever bubble that's going to be there, I think we still got plenty of time before a reaction. You know what I'm saying? But most people that I've followed that are talking about if there's going to be any type of opportunity or opportunistic window in real estate, June is going to be hot again. They don't know for how long, but they're just looking at rhythms. You know what I'm saying? So.
Already.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, thank you, man, for those insights. Thank you, brothers. Thank you for my guests for being here. Thank my listeners, everybody being here, man. I got my closing arguments and stuff.
Hold up. So we got I did submit a video, you know what I'm saying, on another topic, but I don't know if we got the time, you know what I'm saying? So like
we'll run it back. We can run it back next week. And get in there. I know everybody was kind of tight for their time and just getting here today.
Yeah.
So I want to be respectful because y'all blessed me. Y'all blessed me, and then you showed me that consistency. We got to see that that hard time, that fourth quarter love, that fourth quarter got to grind it out, man. We back against the wall attitude right now, man, because everybody ain't down to do that. Everybody don't nobody want to work, and they so quick to find a reason not to work or to serve. Or to be of use or to help a person. And I feel like that all the time. I feel like how they did when they jailed up Jesus and told him, hey, man, that's the Sabbath. You ain't supposed to be helping, blessing nobody. You ain't supposed to be working, man. What are you doing? I said, man, what's wrong with you, man? Get your hands off me, man. You ain't know who is you, man. I'm the prince. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, I can help
you don't dictate my outcome. Yeah.
Because there's going to be a time where no man can work.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what I stand by right now, man. It's going to be a time where no man can work. And your work ain't going to get you there. So when you can, you got to do what you can while you can. You get what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all for coming. Ted, we're going to get ready to close out, man. Dallas, they just scored a touchdown finally, 22-27. I hope they come back win and somebody get that old turkey, man, get them on the turkey legs or something before the day is over with, man, because then that'll be good. I'd love to see that happen. But I'm going to leave y'all with this, man. Today is a day that we should be thankful, right? We should be thankful for a lot of reasons. Some of us are still probably trying to figure out one reason. Well, let me tell you this. If you can't find a reason to be thankful, it's probably because you don't know how to forgive. And so my lesson today is forgiveness. My word today is forgiveness. But what I want to see done is called forgiveness also. What people have to do nowadays, they have to understand that people make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Are we going to allow that person to keep on abusing us, beating us down, verbally abusing us, physically abusing us, belittling us? No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is learn to forgive and let go so that you can move on, so that you can grow, and that you can evolve and be your greatest version of you. Without forgiveness, there is no growth. You are bound to a chain. and held by a chain of past, a chain of pain, and a chain of hurt. Trauma is real. Mental health is real. Suicide is real. We don't always know when it's our time to go, and tomorrow is never promised. So forgive while you can now. Love, live, and laugh. I want y'all to do one thing for me before you go. I want you to stay dangerous, and I want you to stay woke. And I'll see y'all again next Thursday at 5:30. Love y'all, man. Peace.
Scotty.
Life is a dream. Just know that I'ma ride for my team.
Ride.
Know that I'll die for my team.
I die.
To the top, I'ma rise with my team. Rise with my team. Life is a dream. Just know that I'ma ride for my team.
I'm ride.
Know that I'll die for my team.
I die.
To the top, I'ma rise with my team. Rise with my team. Cause I showed you love first, but that ain't mean shit. You crossed me first, so you can eat my dick. This my clique, nigga. I stand strong for 'em. I do everything, even get my